Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a hotspot question in Canvas new quizzes using an image of the human brain. So we'll ask students to identify the limbic system. Okay, let's get to it. Now, as you can see, I'm on the home screen again with my Canvas course, and then we scroll down to quizzes again. So we go to quizzes on the left-hand navigation menu, and then we scroll all the way down to the sample new quiz. I've got two of them because I've played around with it a bit. But here we go to sample new quiz. And then we select save. We have to go through this process as we re-enter this new quizzes. So we'll save. We won't publish. We'll just save. And here in the last video, as you can see, we built a categorization item and question type. But now if we want to create a new one, a new question type, we would select on this plus sign and then go to hotspot right here. So here's hotspot. And now again, this question title is for you. It's not for students again. So we would select this field here, and maybe we can put in identify the limbic system, which is a part of the brain. And psychology students, neuroscience students would know this for sure. But then we go down to the question stem here. And as you can see, I clicked on the field and expanded. And this is where we can select, click on the part of the brain known as the limbic system, and then I might put use the diagram image below help you. So this is what students would see. These are the directions. You can become more specific, and often you would want to add more to this description to be more specific. So then here we would add an image. So on my desktop, I already have an image, so I can drag and drop it, or I can browse. So if you select browse, you can find the file on your computer and upload it. I have the file right here on my desktop. So I'm going to bring it over and just drop it there. And this is, not the best image. I'd probably use something a little more scientific, but for demonstration purposes, we'll use this. So this is the brain. So we've uploaded the brain image here. And now you can see this square here. They have a circle, you have a square. This will allow you to select the part of the image that you want students to select. So for this demonstration purpose, with the brain, where it's if I do a square, I would probably do a square and it would overlap some of the other areas I don't want students to choose, which would make the answer correct when they weren't actually correct. So I might use the oval here because this might encompass the limbic system a bit more. So we have the limbic system right here. Try to select that so I can select that. And now I've dragged and resized the hotspot box to cover the midline curve red area in the middle of the brain here. So we want to make sure this circle is not too large so it doesn't overlap with unrelated regions, but large enough for students to reasonably click on it. So now we scroll down. We have the options here, but we scroll down and select done. And you can see it has the region here that students would need to select, but we want to assign points. So down here on the left hand bottom of this page, we select points here. So we might assign it just 1 point or maybe 2 points. We'll do 2 points. And then if you want to, you can actually select feedback or add feedback. So for a correct answer, I might type something in here. Yes, you got it. Or for an incorrect answer, if they selected on a different part of the brain, they'll put, please review your notes in chapter 2 of the textbook, etc., whatever it might be. And so you can select the done. And then we would go over to the done button here and select done. And then there it is. Now, one thing I know that instructors aren't very happy with, basically, is that you can't do student view in new quizzes. You can see there's no student view up here. But one way to go about it, just so you can see what it looks like for the student, we can see preview. So it's kind of confusing. So one thing to keep in mind is that it doesn't have the regular student view, the button that's usually all throughout the Canvas pages and items and things. But here you have preview. So when we want to finish up a quiz or an assignment, then we can preview here. And now we can see it as student view. It's just titled preview. So now I'm acting as a student that says, click on the part of the brain known as the limbic system. Now use the image below to help you. So I'd select maybe this area. And I selected that. And then I go to submit. And I'll just do that right now. I just have another question. So I'll still submit. I haven't answered question 2, which was a categorization question I had on a previous video. So I'll submit and then it auto grade. So let's see if I got it right. Yep, it was worth 2 points. It's out of 3 because it included one of the categorization questions, the fruit and vegetables categorization question type that I covered in a previous video. As you can see, the fruits and vegetables down here I didn't even answer. So I got it right because I selected the correct area. All right, I'll exit out of that now. All right, now that's it. Now we've created a hotspot question that challenges students to visually identify the limbic system within the brain, which is a fantastic way to reinforce brain anatomy in this situation and in this scenario through interactive learning. Now, we can use questions like this to assess applied knowledge, where it's not just memorization, but they're applying what they've learned and can select on items or areas within an image. Now, in the next video, we'll explore how to create a stimulus question, which allows you to build questions around a case study or an article or a chart. All right, we'll see you then.